How's it going, Yankee fans? Welcome back to Fireside Yankees with your boys, Alex and Ryan. Today we're discussing a couple different things, all of them not so good. The Yankees need support. Their starting pitching rotation's kind of in disarray right now. There's some news that just dropped on Aaron Judge that is very concerning, and I don't even want to talk about it because it's so freaking infuriating. The way that they communicate injuries has to be some of the most annoying communication in the world. I've never seen anything like this. And the Yankees just they kind of half-ass their injury reports not to scare people. And now they're coming out and Aaron Judge is like, yeah, I have a torn ligament in my toe. They called it a strain. Strain's kind of a variation of a tear, but it's significant. He can't even walk without pain yet. And it's been 3 weeks since the injury. You know what I mean? This is an issue that is not going to be solved anytime soon. We're talking about potentially 2 months, if not missing the full season. Aaron Boone wouldn't even commit to the fact that Aaron Judge could come back this year. After saying that they expect him back a couple days ago, suddenly it's, I can't guarantee anything. He may not even come back. This is becoming a really bad problem. This is becoming something that could end the Yankees season prematurely because right now, I don't have any faith in this team. We scored 2 runs yesterday. IKF, what the hell? He had 2 hits yesterday, but the errors that this man made yesterday are unexcusable. They're inexcusable. I don't really understand, where to even start. We're going to talk about a starting pitcher as well as a part of this segment, a potential option for the Yankees at the deadline. But, Ryan, how you feeling about this Aaron Judge news? How you feeling about kind of the situation at hand? Because the communication is bad. The players and management, they're not communicating properly. They're all saying different things, and severities are different, and pain, it's just not ideal. And I feel like no one's on the same page, and that has to do with on the field and off the field. So I'm a little bit concerned, maybe a lot of bit concerned about this entire team in general.
Wow. I mean, look, first off, I'm going to say that, I do not enjoy finding out that Aaron Judge is a tear. I understand strain and tear. I saw a really good analogy for it, where it's all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares, right? So, not all strains, I think, are tears, but not all tears are strains, something like that. But this isn't necessarily quote unquote new information. It's just that we're finally understanding that it's a tear and not just a sprain. And the unfortunate part about that is that, well, part of it is I understand, they don't really want to go out and blast out all of the Judge's injury stuff. But from the fan perspective, I completely understand how annoying that is. And then the big news here, obviously, is that you don't know when you're getting Aaron Judge back, and this team isn't good without Aaron Judge. And I'm going to just say it flat out now. The Yankees are the 6th oldest team in all of baseball. The Yankees have not had a rookie play more than 74 games, which is Anthony Volpe this year, in their rookie season as a position player since Andujar and Glaber in 2018. Johnny Brito has the most starts by a rookie starter in a season for the Yankees since 2018, when Herman had 14. The Yankees, this can't be how things are. They're old. They don't have a lot of young talent on the major league team playing. They have plenty of talent in the farm system, and your best player is out. If you're not going to have Aaron Judge back anytime soon, I'm not saying you start selling. I think, who are you even going to trade away? Am I going to trade away, am I going to start, punting players off the roster to get prospects? No, it's the New York Yankees, and they currently hold a playoff spot. And not that the American League is bad, but the American League has a lot of teams in similar situations to the Yankees where they're without star players or they're not that good. And the Yankees can fight for a playoff spot, and they've done that for weeks now. But, at the end of the day, am I really going to sit here and have that much confidence that the Yankees are going to perform well in the postseason? Not exactly. I want to know what I have in the farm system. Everson Pereira has a 130 WRC plus in his 2 years in Double A. Bring him up, or at least send him to Scranton. I want to know what he's got. Wells, we've talked about him extensively. I want to know what he's got. Peraza, I don't need to know what Josh Donaldson is. I don't care what Josh Donaldson is. If he goes out and he goes to not even that these teams would sign him, but if one of these smart teams sign him, whether it's the Dodgers, the Astros, the Rays, again, they probably won't, and they turn him into a star slugger again, good for them. Good for him. Just like Aaron Hicks. Is anyone here really sitting here kicking themselves saying Aaron Hicks would have done that here? No, he wouldn't. I don't care. I don't care to see I don't care to see him on the diamond anymore. Let me know what I got in Peraza. You have plenty of talent in the system. You have a lot of guys. The Double A team, back-to-back that they're going to win, that they've won their division the first half, back-to-back playoff berths. They're coming off a championship last year. Hudson Valley just did the same thing this year. So, I want to know, right? Like Clayton Beater, can I know what Clayton Beater, I'd rather know what Clayton Beater is than Domingo Germán. I'd rather know what Randy Vasquez is than Domingo Germán. Hell, I'd rather know what Richard Fitz is than Domingo Germán. I don't need a 30-year-old who's got a 92-mile-per-hour fastball that gets absolutely shelled when he pitching every fifth day on a Yankee team without Aaron Judge. I don't care to know. Maybe another team finds him valuable. You can trade Germán, right? That'd be a nice piece to move at the deadline. Maybe someone, covets him as a depth starter. I really don't care to find out anymore. How sure am I that Randy Vasquez or Johnny Brito can't give you the same production Germán can over the course of the full season? I'm not that sure. I think they could. I think they could outperform him. Again, do I need to know what Josh Donaldson is? Do I need LeMahieu starting every day? No, I don't need either of those things. Do I really need to know what, do I, like, ICAF, I know he made a great comment yesterday about taking accountability. That's great. That's awesome. But, I mean, do I need to know what he is? I don't need to know what he is. He has -3 defensive run saved in the outfield and a sub-80 WRC+. Like, he can make all the great quotes you want. I get it. He wants to be a great bench player. That's cool. I'd rather see some of the younger guys come up. Stanton, dude, what are we doing? WRC+ is below 80. You're supposed to step up when Judge is gone. You've been horrible. Not even just like meh or disappointing. You've been unplayable. It's got to get better. Rizzo, it's got to get better. Torres, you've got to get more consistent or else there are plenty of infield prospects. Trey Sweeney on a tear right now. There are plenty of infield prospects that are going to take that job. There's too much job security here, man. There are too many guys here who are not young players that are part of the future. There are too many guys here that I don't want to see in the next 2 years. I'm going to remove Gleyber from that conversation because I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Gleyber here for a pretty decent amount of time. I think he's a solid player, but he does, I think, have to get a little more consistent. But end of the day, Alex, I don't know how you feel about this, but it's there's too many jobs that are secure. There's too many guys that I don't want to see here in 2 years, and that's not a good thing. Right? It's not a good thing at all.
No, I mean, look, I think you make a reasonable point. If the Yankees know that Aaron Judge is not coming back for the next month or 2 months, I'd say 2 months is probably realistic based on the way he was just talking, and the way that Aaron Boone is saying we don't even know if we'll see him this season. You got to start using your youth, man. You got to use this season as a building one, as one that kind of can leverage you into the future. Because right now, like we're really just rolling with veterans who aren't producing. I mean, Donaldson is god awful. The decision to pinch. I know you're an analytics guy, but I disagree with what they did last night wholeheartedly. I get the left-handed pitching, the right-handed pitching. I get you wanting to leverage a righty against a lefty, but Josh Donaldson is hitting 127 this season. He's your worst hitter right now, and Billy McKinney's been excellent. He's been excellent this year, over a small sample size, of course, but I would rather just go with the hot hand against, rather than a guy that literally can't hit. And again, Donaldson ended up striking out, and all of our fears of that entire at-bat came to fruition. So, the analytics are not working for the Yankees. They're like some things, and that's the thing, Ryan, like, if you're going to commit to something, do it 100%. The Yankees are like half gut, half analytics, and it's a combination that doesn't work, and there's no accountability. Like, I respect IKF for saying after the game, like, I can't make dumb mistakes. Like, he took full responsibility for his actions, but no one else is doing that. I mean, you don't see, Stanton did. I'm saying, like, more so, like, Boone doesn't take any accountability for any bad decisions he makes. You know what I mean? He never goes out and says, yeah, like, I shouldn't have done that. It's always like, oh, yeah, like, I thought that was the right move. Like, I think in another context, like, that's the right move. But, like, meanwhile, you have the players coming out there saying, I got to do better, man. Like, this is on me. This loss is on me. This game's on me. Managers got to step up and take some accountability, too. Can't just let the players take the fall for it every single time. But, I wanted to kind of segue into a pitching acquisition the Yankees could make at the deadline. Now, the Yankees are not saving their season at the deadline, guys. Like, I'm kind of getting more into the mindset of, like, I don't want to sell on any of our top prospects for players because it's not worth it. I don't see this team as one that's going to compete for a championship because unless a miraculous turnaround, Josh Donaldson starts hitting, Stanton starts hitting normally, DJ LeMahieu turns things around, it's all very unlikely that all these guys hit their stride at the right time and Judge comes back fully healthy and dominates. Like, the road ahead is murky. It's muddy. It's foggy. I don't know what to say about it. What I can say is that the chances of them turning this whole thing around and becoming a great team by season's end is very unlikely. So, while I'm not kind of subscribing to, like, we need to go out and acquire players, I do want to talk about one guy with you, Ryan, who you kind of referenced earlier, today, and that's Lucas Giolito. So, tell me a little about him, why you think the Yankees may be a solid landing place for him, maybe because he could be an impact player maybe next year too. I know he is a free agent in 2024, so I guess you're really just renting him for the rest of the year. But maybe you extend him beyond that, kind of roll over Luis Severino's contract. He's making $15 million into a player like this, and keep him around for a little bit of time. What do you think?
Yeah, so the way I view it is that the Yankees are always going to have prospects that are Rule 5 eligible, and I want to clarify this in my little tangent from earlier. The Yankees have a good farm system. I'm not sitting here doubting the Yankees' ability to acquire good prospects. They've done a really good job at that, and that's why I'm going to sit here and say the Yankees are going to have a lot of guys who are Rule 5 eligible that they're not going to be able to keep back and that they're going to lose for nothing, so I'd rather them move it for a piece. Now, is Lucas Giolito the only player I'm willing to move them for? Absolutely not. Like, I'm a very open-minded person in that regard, but Giolito does have a high fastball with a pretty good changeup and a solid slider. Those are his calling cards on the season. He's performed a lot better than he did last year. He's shown ace-level performances in the past. We saw in 2021 and 2020, he was one of the 10 or 15 best starters in all of baseball. This year, his ERA minus is similar to where it was back in that 2021 season with a 3.41 ERA and an 81 ERA minus. Now, for those who are unaware what ERA minus is, that's your ERA adjusting for your ballpark, adjusting for the run environment, right? So let's think, 2019 with the juice balls versus 2021 with the dead end balls, right? A lower ERA in 2019 is just more impressive than it is in 2021. So that makes him 19% better than the league average pitcher at preventing runs. That's pretty good. He has a 25.6% strikeout rate. That's above average. A 7.5% walk rate. That's just a tick below league average as well. So he does a pretty good job of maintaining good strikeout to walk rates. He does have a home run problem, but guaranteed rate field is pretty home run friendly. So I don't think that gets a lot worse in Yankee Stadium. Maybe gets a little bit worse, but nothing that would concern me too much. And his velocity, right? We've seen it come back up a little bit. It's up about a mile per hour. And we've seen in certain starts, he can sit 94, sometimes even 95. And then other starts, not so much. So if it's a mechanical thing, could the Yankees figure that out? And, I don't think he's going to be someone who costs too much on the free agent market. So if you want to bring him back, you'll have exclusive negotiating rights at the end of the season. That's something that you're also doing when you're acquiring a pitcher like Giolito. And considering that Severino has struggled and is a free agent at the end of the year, lots of injury concerns there. Montas, I don't really have to mention it. A lot of injury concerns there. Could the Yankees look to bring back Giolito on like a team-friendly deal and say, all right, you know what, we're confident what we have in this guy. He's had a pretty extensive history of pitching a lot of games and pitching a lot of innings. He's only 28 years old. Will be turning 29 in July, so have a pretty young guy as well. Could you see like a 3-year deal where he becomes the permanent 3-starter for this team behind Cole and Rodon, and then he either go through the farm or explore the trade market to fill out the rest of your rotation? I think that could happen, and I think the high fastball, the great changeup, I think all those things I just think the Yankees would really like, and I think the Yankees can definitely make him a better pitcher than he already is, which is still a pretty good pitcher.
Yeah, I mean, look, if the Yankees can do that, bring him in, improve him, maybe keep him for a couple extra years at a reasonable cost, I wouldn't be opposed. 3.41 ERA over 92.1 innings. He's pitched over 150 innings for 2 consecutive years. He's on pace to do it for a third. This is a reliable guy who stays healthy, knock on wood. So the Yankees need healthy players, and go figure, maybe they should acquire one, because right now I'm getting tired. I'm sick and freaking tired of going out and trading for players, acquiring players that are always hurt, always injured, always failing to make an impact. It's sad. It's freaking sad, and it's our strategy, and it doesn't work. It's proven to not work. 10 years with a $290 million payroll and with no World Series appearances to show for it, man. Like, what else can I say? That's kind of the end-all, be-all of the situation. But, guys, I'd love to hear your perspectives below on Aaron Judge. What you think about Lucas Giolito, if you think he might be an option for the Yankees, if they should bring him in and try and kind of develop him a little bit more and give him some time to reach his peak potential. Obviously, certainly an option, and I'd be curious to see what the Yankees would have to give up for him from the Chicago White Sox, who are a pretty bad team. But always happy to get your thoughts below. Make sure to like and subscribe as always, and I'll catch you guys on the next Fireside Yankees episode.